What's up, guys, and welcome to this PFCFL Week 10 recap. Once again this week, I'm with Jeff Bridges.
What's going on, guys?
This week is the last week of this Season 1 in the PFCFL. We had 4 battles. One of them was a forfeit, but the battle didn't even count because, well, it counted, but it didn't mean anything, because the 2 teams were already eliminated, and the draft order for Season 2 was already determined, so we're gonna go quickly over this battle, which was a simulation anyways, so we'll really go quickly over it, but we're gonna talk about the other 3 battles a lot more in depth. So let's start with the battle between Martin and I. So this is the final scoreboard. So for the first time, Mega Metagross didn't do shit. I took the stupid risk of sacking it against Dragonite, and letting Dragonite set up was pretty much what cost me the game, because I didn't have Mega Metagross, which was an easy answer for Arcanine, Rapidash, Manectric, Mega Charizard X, stuff like that with Earthquake, and I outsped all these Pokemons. I let Mega Metagross die way too early. That cost me the game. I also let Hydreigon die. On the other side, I gotta admit that Martin was on top of his game, I'd say. Once again, Manectric for his team doing a heck of a job. You see who got the kills pretty much. At the end, it was Rapidash, Cloyster, and Manectric against my Nidoqueen and Jellicent. So it was a very long stalling battle. In the end, it ended with on a Rapidash recoil suicide against my Nidoqueen. So Martin won by a score of 1-0 because his Manectric was still in there, like with 13% of his health. So it was a very, very good battle. If I really think though that if I didn't play stupid and let Mega Metagross die, while I already knew that chances were Dragonite would have Earthquake or Fire Punch, and he was already at +1 or +2. If I wasn't stupid, I should have switched out and pretty much take a hit on something like Miss Magus or something that wouldn't care, because Dragonite was poisoned, so I could just revenge kill it with Bullet Punch after that or something. Just play more smart, and I didn't do that, so it cost me the battle. But I'll learn in the future not to sacrifice some useful Pokemon like Mega Metagross early in the battle. I think there's nothing else to say really about this. Martin is very good. He ended with a 6-4 record just like me, so there's nothing much more to say. So I'll go to the second battle. So Jeff is gonna talk about Pittsburgh against Atlanta. So I think this was the end of the drought for the Pittsburgh Steelixes.
Yeah, Casey's been going through a lot of IRL stuff lately. You know, he's been busy with school. He was sick for a little while. You know, he went through a lot of stuff lately, and it was really tough for him. And it definitely showed in his battles over the past couple of weeks, where he lost a lot. Like he lost like 3 or 4 times in a row.
4 or 5, like, I think. More like 4 or 5.
Yeah, he ended up losing a lot in a row. And I was like, it just didn't seem right, because it wasn't the Casey we all knew. Casey's dangerous when it comes to a battle, and he definitely showed that side has not died out this week with a 4-0 victory over the Atlanta Fearows. I'll admit, when I watched this battle, I kind of cringed every few minutes because I felt really bad for Damien. It was just a complete slaughterfest overall. I mean, Damien Scissor was able to pick up a nice kill, you know, Rotom Frost was able to pick up a good kill, but at that point, you could tell it was Casey more or less sacking him off in order to set himself up for domination. Landorus picking up 2 kills in the match and not dying. Landorus putting in as much work as we know that it can. Landorus Therian is too dominant of a mon to let go. Like, you need to have that extra prep for it and need to make sure to shut it down early, or it's going to tear through your whole team. And that's kind of showed today. Mega Slowbro has got 2 kills as well and survived the whole match, proving that it is as big of a monster as we all think it is. I mean, it's got in there and started setting up comm mines, and at that point, once it got a few comm mines up and then got a slack off, that was it.
That was it.
You weren't winning. You weren't winning. Vaporeon was able to pick up a nice, easy kill. Ambipom, of course, Ambipom was able to pick up a kill. Technician boosts everywhere. Just, Ambipom's not something to mess with. Casey came in here with a lot better preparation than I think he had a lot throughout the season, and a lot better playing than he had the past couple of weeks. And it was honestly, it was nice to see Casey back to the way he's supposed to be as a serious contender once again.
Yeah. So a 4-0 win with Landorus T being his MVP. So let's go to the third battle. So you did the simulation. I'll give you the opportunity to explain your pretty much your mindset and everything on this battle.
So I didn't know anything at all about the battle going into trying to simulate it. So I took the mons that Alistair brought last week, brought them into this week, and I brought what I thought would be the best options for Chase to have brought. So it ended up being Mega Alakazam, Hawlucha, Diancie, Suicune, Trevenant, and Glaceon for Dundee against Orlando's Manaphy, Mega Absol, Cresselia, Jolteon, Hitmonlee, and Dusknoir. Now, this match ended up being a 4-0 forfeit by Orlando, so Dundee got the victory here. So I had to try and come up with some way for Dundee to pull this out, and I will say one of the thoughts that came to my head was really, really random, but very effective. I thought of an Adamant Assault Vested Trevenant, and it actually paid off. In this case, basically what I ended up deciding to do was Trevenant versus Manaphy seems like a fair bet.
Yeah.
You switch Trevenant in, Manaphy goes for a Tail Glow, gets to +3. That's scary. Manaphy fires off an Ice Beam at Trevenant. Assault Vested Trevenant takes a maximum of 96% from an Ice Beam from +3. Timid Manaphy. I banked on Timid because he's going to need the speed. Yeah. Takes 96%. And then I decided Trevenant would pack Woodhammer as a heavy offensive move. So the way I figured it, Trevenant picks up the easy kill on Manaphy because it does like a minimum of like 106%, I believe it was. Minimum of 106%. So Manaphy's definitely going down. At that point, Trevenant would then die, would then suicide itself off to the recoil. So both of them picked up a kill, and both of them picked up a death at the same time. But I thought that was an interesting scenario, and it would be one of those kind of things that you would expect later in the season. Glaceon and Hawlucha, I didn't have them really see much action because I didn't feel like they needed to. Diancie, doing what Diancie does best, walling his team very effectively. Picking up 2 kills off of Mega Absol, and then picking off another kill on Jolteon with potentially an Earth Power to take it out.
I like that.
And then Mega Alakazam.
Good logic.
Yeah, Mega Alakazam being speedy and destructive would easily be able to pick off the remainder of his team. You know, Shadow Balls for Cresselia, Psyshocks for Hitmonlee, Shadow Balls for Dusknoir. Could easily take out all 3 of those mons with no trouble.
Does he still have Hitmonlee?
Yes, he does.
Okay, yeah. Alright,
and then Jolteon for Chase's side, just to pick up the second kill for Chase's side. I decided Jolteon, modest choice specs, would be able to tear through Suicune very easily with Thunderbolt. So that's kind of my mindset going into that one. I thought I would kind of mix it up a little bit with some weird stuff in there with the Assault Vest Trevenant idea. I thought it would be kind of interesting, and it was pretty cool. I think.
Alright.
So it's a good match. Good match to simulate.
So that's it. That's a 4-0 default score win for the Dundee Darkrai, who unfortunately won't be there next season because of eligibility reasons, I'd say. We asked some things to our competitors, and Alistair said that he couldn't guarantee it, so he decided to leave the league. So that's a good way to finish the season with 3 straight wins, but he should have had them earlier to still be alive on week 10 and pretty much make a historical comeback, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. So fourth battle is your battle against Andy, so I think you're not very happy. I'll let you explain what happened.
Honestly, it just came down to execution-wise. Yeah, I had all the planning in the world. I had a lot of interesting stuff with me. I brought enough fire coverage that I knew I had something to handle Mega Scizor at any point in the matchup. I brought a specific strategy because last time chat taught confusing my Mew in the first turn was really a problem and it ended up actually causing my Mew's death last time. And so I brought a Lumberry on my Mew this time, specifically so that once it chattered me, I wouldn't get the confusion, so then the next turn I could easily follow up and kill it, and then not have that confusion going into the rest of the battle, which was effective to an extent, but not so much in the long run of it all. Basically what ended up happening is it came down to Mega Scizor and Umbreon, and honestly that core is just, it's so hard to break without the proper planning. I had a Swords Dance Infernape that I was really wanting to put in work, and it wasn't so much that it wouldn't have been effective because I did calc a lot of things with it, and if I were able to get a Swords Dance up in the right situation, it would have easily been able to sweep through Andy's team. But I went for it way too early, and that was my mistake. That was my biggest mistake, was going for the Swords Dance way too early and not saving it till a later game. Because once I revealed that, he was never going to allow me to get a Swords Dance up safely, and he played around it perfectly and was able to set up to kill it off. And at that point, that was game over. I had nothing else that could really break through the core of Umbreon and Mega Scizor, and I ended up sitting there, and it ended up PP stalling me down to all of my Giga Drains on my Mega Venusaur, which was the only way I was staying alive at that point. So it just kind of ended up being a stall war that he ended up pulling out a 2-0 victory. This definitely shows me a lot of what I need to look forward to in the playoffs, and I definitely see what I need to do in order to pull out the win when it comes time to it. So hopefully when it comes time for playoffs, hopefully me and Andy face off in the playoffs, and I can get that much needed redemption that I have been seeking since week 5.
All right. So that's it for 4 battles. So I'm gonna go with the kill leaders. So at the end of the season, those 2 Pokemons on top, Mega Metagross and Umbreon, ended up on a tie for kills and average kills per game. But Umbreon wins the MVP title by 2 points because of a +10 differential when Mega Metagross had a +8 differential. Mega Pittsburgh was also there for was also in there with the +8 differential, but since it didn't get 15 kills like the 2 first ones, it wasn't nominated, and finally we decided that Umbreon would be the MVP. There's also Mega Absol in there, Jellicent, Manectric, I already said Mega Pinsir, Mega Alakazam, Mega Charizard X, everything. When I look at Mega Alakazam, I can't believe Alistair didn't swap his Mega earlier. He could have been in it till the end, but I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. Mega Alakazam put in so much crazy work for Alistair's team because it is just that good of a mon. I mean, it's not the best Mega by any means, but it definitely has
Fits
its
in
niche.
his team too.
Yeah, it fits really well with his team, and he definitely held on to Mega Charizard Y a lot longer than he should have, especially because there were a couple weeks where he didn't even bring it. A lot of weeks where he actually didn't bring it at all, and that kind of surprised me because it's like, you know, a lot of times people are going to like prep for that Mega, and you know, not bringing it might be kind of a strategy, but at the same time,
He's wasting his best Pokemon, and not
he's wasting his best mon. He's wasting his Mega slot on something he's just not going to use, and that was kind of that was really disappointing to see for the entire first half of the season. But once he swapped it to Mega Alakazam, you could see that, you know, the wheels started to turn, and things started picking up. You know, the differentials in his matches started decreasing. You know, and then he finally started picking up wins in the later weeks. Granted, you know, a couple of them came by forfeit. But at the end of the day, looking at the team matchups, I think Alistair, he easily could have won on his own without any help from a forfeit or something like that. He definitely had a good chance if he had done it a lot sooner, if not even drafting Mega Charizard Y at all.
Alright, so you guys can see the top 30. I won't name every Pokemon like we did last week. That was a little dumb. But anyways, for the standings, Jeff, you and first in the league. That was pretty much obvious. But we end with the same kill count, death count, and differential, of course. But it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool how that worked out.
Yeah. So in your conference, well, I'll let you talk about it.
All right, so first place in my conference overall at the end of the season is myself with a 7-3 record, 53 kills, 35 deaths with a plus 18 differential, which I feel is pretty decent for a 10-week season. I'll take it. Second place is the Bradenton Rapidashes, coached by Martin, with a 6-4 record. Came right up on my heels there. I got real scared into the end, but we were able to pull out the number 1 slot. But he came in with a 51 kills and 43 deaths, which equals out to a plus 8 differential. So really, at the end of the day, if I had lost a match and he'd won the match, you know, it would have easily swapped around. So it definitely got really close at the end there. Next is Andy and the Golden State Wartortles, tied in record with Martin at 6-4, but the only difference being differential, with 45 kills and 47 deaths, leading to a -2 differential. And then last place overall in the season would be the Orlando Magikarps, coached by Chase, with a 2-8 record, 34 kills, and 55 deaths, which comes out to a -21 differential.
All right, so in my conference, I win by I'd say a good score with the 6-4 record, 53 kills, 35 deaths, plus 18. Then Damien comes 1 single point ahead of Casey. 1 point. And when he was like preparing for his battle against Casey, I said, Damien, all you have to do to end in second place is to get 1 kill. He got this kill, but he got 2 in fact. But he still like didn't have a good week, so he's gonna, even though he ended in second place, it doesn't mean that he's the favorite to win the first round matchup he has against Casey, who comes in third with a 5-5 record, 41 kills and 46 deaths. That's a -5 differential. Damien had 43 kills and 47 deaths with the same win and loss count. And in last place in the conference comes Alistair Fraser with a respectable, I'd say respectable in the circumstances, 3-7 record, 39 kills and 51 deaths. So he's not last in kill count and he's not last in death count. He really came out of the bottom of the barrel at the end of the season. He has a -12 differential. So now we're gonna show you the playoff table. So K2 means Kalos number 2, and K3 means Kalos number 3. Same thing for H, which means Hoenn. Unfortunately, this table wasn't updated, but Bradenton Rapidash is leaving the league for personal reasons. So that means that Andy and the Golden State Wartortles move up to the semifinals to face you, Martin. Not Martin, but Jeff. Sorry, I was talking about Martin, so I got a little mixed up.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
So yeah, Martin got some problems, and he preferred to leave the league. He wasn't in the best situation for him to stay in the league, so he decided just to leave. So we can't do anything about this. So Andy will take the win and move to the semifinals, but I think he still would like to. He would have liked to have this battle against Martin, I think. But
yeah,
anyways.
definitely, especially because if we look back in time, if we look back at the earlier parts of the season when Andy and Martin faced off, I'm pretty sure Andy won that one, but didn't they when they faced off the first time? I think, if I remember correctly,
Bradenton
might have won that one. Yeah, I think they won one, so that would have been a really, really good rubber match to have. Really, really good way to kind of end off that little bit of a rivalry, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. I think that would have been nice, but what can you do?
In B battle, H2 and H3, so Atlanta Fearows and Pittsburgh Steelixes, this battle is gonna happen. It's gonna be the third time these two face each other, and it's gonna be a very intense battle. Something that Jeff made me notice before we started this video. Every team that faced each other in the first round had the same record. So it was a 6-4 team against a 6-4 team, and two 5-5 teams facing each other. So the playoffs really, you could feel that they were going to be extremely intense because teams are very, they're on the same level pretty much. So it would have been interesting to see Bradenton against Golden State, like I said, but we won't be able to. But I'm looking forward to battle Pittsburgh or Atlanta, two teams that have beaten me this season. Even though I ended with a 6-4 record, Pittsburgh has beaten me twice, and Damon has beaten me once. He says with a little bit of luck, but still. Anyways, so that's it for this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe.
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this playoff bracket, man. I'm really excited to see Atlanta Fearows versus Pittsburgh, because now that Atlanta has had a taste of what, I feel really good that Damien might be able to pull off this win this week. Just in my personal opinion, while I believe the first time they faced off, didn't Damien pull off the victory that time, I believe. If memory serves me correctly, didn't Damien beat Pittsburgh the first time around?
I don't know.
I believe I think he might have. And you know, I think that might have been what. Well, yeah, it was a 3-0 for Atlanta the first time they faced off, and then Casey comes back with a 4-0. So they've both seen the best that they can bring at each other. But I think at this point, now that Damien knows what Casey can really bring to the table, I think he has a much better shot, because he did play Casey last time when he wasn't really at his best. Now that he's seen him at his best, he knows how much better to prepare for it. So I feel really, really good about this for Damien, and I really kind of want to see him pull it out personally.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and on Twitch. If you guys want to follow the PFCFL from the inside, the link to the group will be in the description below. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.